Thanks for tuning in. Barbershop Sports Talk.
So you mentioned this. Morey wants an impact player. What exactly does that mean? What value is an impact player? Like when he says impact player, who is said player?
So I think there are some no-brainers that would fit that criteria who could,
Damian
on
Lillard.
paper, be on the table. Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, etc. And then I think there's a tier down where, of course, the Sixers would have some interest. I think, C.J. McCollum is probably a borderline sort of player if we're talking about difference maker. And then there are some players where, realistically they're just not good enough. If you're talking about a difference maker, if you're thinking about a John Collins, who's been reported, as someone who is now available in trade talks, very good player, but probably not quite in that top 25, top 30 all-star level. So yeah, I think it's certainly a word that you can define however you want, but it seems like from the Sixers' perspective, anyone who's an all-star, yeah, they probably meet the criteria. Someone like McCollum, who's narrowly missed out on some all-star games, maybe they'd be close, but probably not. Like this team would really like to get an all-star because, hey, Ben Simmons is a three-time all-star and he's only 25, and they feel it's very important to get a legit star player next to Embiid.
So even like a Brandon Ingram type, that would probably suffice, right?
You'd think he'd be in that mix, yeah. I think part of what's interesting in considering these many hypotheticals is just age and the ability to win in the postseason, and obviously I think those variables would be question marks with Ingram, or even question marks with some of these guys on the Kings, Fox and Halliburton, who are young and do not have postseason experience, because the ultimate goal here is to maximize Embiid's prime, right? He's 27 years old. He's playing the best basketball of his career, and you want a player who can get the Sixers over the hump and improve them from a team that loses in the second round to a team that's a championship contender. So I think those are factors working against a player like Ingram, a player like Halliburton. But in my book, it's valid to at least consider them in that difference maker discussion. It's just a question of whether the Sixers front office feels the same way, and I think we'll ultimately learn a lot more about that just based on what they do here. But we shall see. But from where I'm sitting, Morey has set a high bar here, and the best evidence of that, again, is that we've played 40 games and he hasn't budged.